Hi Dr. Wilson, it's Heather James and this is my data part 3 video. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with question number 1. What do you know to be true about assessing and teaching reading? So I'm going to start with teaching reading because you can't assess what you haven't taught. And what's important to keep in mind is that reading is different for all students and teachers. There is no one way to teach reading. All students are on their own levels and will have different problems that need to be corrected and taught. However, you can always discover some kind of pattern that you can find answers to, that you can find solutions to. There are many resources out there, and it's important to remain patient and use what you have a teacher have learned during school, all the seminars that you go to, all the trainings, and what we have learned in your class, Dr. Wilson. Some important ideas to keep in mind is that you need to break everything down into parts when you're teaching it, and you need to teach them individually and clearly, making sure to cover all the 5 pillars of reading, the phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, the vocab, language development, and comprehension. By doing this, you're going to ensure that the students are receiving a well-rounded reading education. You also need to remain positive and make it fun. If it's not fun, your kids won't want to keep doing it and they won't build those reading levels and their reading abilities. You can do this in different ways. You can do songs, you can do little activities. It doesn't have to be straight reading. Moving on to assessing their reading. One of the best ways to do this is by conducting an IRI. These evaluate the students' reading performances and helps you as a teacher document and see where the problem areas are. Once you know what the problem areas are, you are able to find intervention and help your students move through that problem. Keeping record of this is important as well, so people can see, if they ask, what you are doing to help them learn how to read, and it's for your own accountability. The assessing should occur both formally and informally. You should be constantly assessing your students' growth and their struggles. Like I said earlier, it is so important to make it fun for your students and to build their confidence. Like when you're doing an IRI, you start several levels below the grade level to build up their confidence. Teaching a student to read is not easy and it takes a lot of time, but there are many steps and ideologies that you need to teach. So moving on to question 2, how can teachers use an IRI to assess the 5 pillars of reading? So IRIs, as you know, are individually administered diagnostic assessments, and they evaluate a number of different aspects of a student's reading performances. Their value is linked to the role that they play in helping educators diagnose the gaps in the reader's ability. The IRIs can be used to assess the 5 pillars of reading because each of the sections in their IRI correlate to the 5 pillars in some way. So the 5 pillars being phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocab, language development, and comprehension. So the first section of the IRI, where the students are reading the vocabulary list, assess phonemic awareness because they're sounding out the words that they may not know. The passages that the students read, the silent, the oral, and the listening passages, assess all 5 pillars at the same time. The students are showcasing their phonemic awareness when they are sounding out the words they may not know, the fluency by the rate and flow of which they are reading. Vocabulary, they are also developing when they're reading and can indicate their sight word levels and their comprehension. At the end of the passages, when they are answering the literal and inferential questions, they are assessing their comprehension as a whole. They are telling you what they know about the story and what they have learned. But that's my data part 3. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.